Microsoft Log File Forensics. We're going to explain a little bit about how the different events interact amongst each other, and what sometimes people think are one thing and actually another. I actually have some books to give away. There'll be some questions in the presentation that will be specifically for whoever gets the answer first, and hopefully Mike will keep track. We'll win a prize on the book. I got a log parser book and a security log management book, both from Singlist Publishing. Anyways, okay. Class goals: understand system log events. Help you find, locate signs of intrusions. Scan your system logs for correlating data. Build a toolbox of ready-to-use scripts. Is the goal, because we'll be talking a little bit later after about log parser to grab some of these events and some of these. So we're going to talk about account logon events, logon types, successful logons and logoff, failed logons, and special logon events. There's IPsec main mode. Anyone know what the other modes are besides that? That's not one of the ones for the giveaway, but just wondering. Okay. So anyways, so we're going to talk about some tools and resources, Microsoft Log Parser to help us look at the different event logs and how to get information out of the event logs. That's just my favorite tool for doing that, as well as doing other things in the file system. There's many tools for getting the event logs, but that's just the one that we're going to talk about here a little bit today. So log parser, how does it work? It's just an SQL-like engine core, and it processes records and uses the standards, select and where and group by, just like any SQL queries. And there's the different kinds of Microsoft security event audits. You got account logon events, you got account management, directory service, logon events, object access, policy change, privilege use, process tracking. Process tracking is pretty important. That's one that you want to have on during when you're looking for an intrusion. We find a lot of processes listed in the process tracking. Sometimes it helps us hunt down malware and stuff when it's in on the system. Okay, so here's the first question for a giveaway for the book. Does anyone know how to set the event logs to auto backup in Microsoft? Uh-oh, somebody's typing. Hey, look at that, right? Mark him down for me, Mike. I'll send you a digital copy of the book later on this evening or in the morning, all right, Roger? Yeah, so you have the service control, application log, whatever, auto backup log files, and you set it to 01. And it gives you it in the log file name. It starts archiving it at whatever size you set it to, and the long file name with the year, day, hour, and so on. Okay, so authentication and logons, account logon events. Account logon events are logged only when a local computer authenticates on a domain controller. That's what an account logon is, for the local member servers and workstations. So logon and logoff events occur when there's any kind of interactive, network, service, remote desktop, user logon event. Now, the domain controller keeps track of authentication, but also the local system that you're logging into, and we're going to talk about here, as well as any member servers that you might attach to for resources, log the logon events as well, instead of the account logon. Here, why is that blank? There should be a graphic there. It's not showing up. Is that because it's a Mike? Would that be because it's a? I'm going to share my desktop, I think, and I think I can show it that way. Can I not? On the older Windows NT, 2003 servers, and now the 2008 servers, You get the 540 and the 4624s, which show that an account logon is successful when a workstation connects to a resource on a file server. You'll also get a 4634 on the file server that shows that account was logged off. And then you have 528 and 4624s the same on the local system when you log on to the local system. And you also get the 4647s on the log off. What you get, though, is every time you open and close a resource on a member server, file server, open a file, close a file, you're going to get bunches of the 540s and the 4624s and the logons and the log-off events. You'll get gobs of those just from the item file uploading and downloading. So those are things to watch out for. Sometimes you'll see, a couple hundred log-offs in one day from one person on a file server and think that seems pretty strange, but all that is the resources opening and closing. So can someone give me how you determine a computer account logon? This is for a book. Anyone? Hello? Yep. Roger. Hey, wait a second, Roger. You won the first one. You can't win both of them, Raj. What do we do? What do we do on that case, Mike? All right. So just so everyone knows, though, since I'm sharing this from the desktop, I can't see what anyone's typing in the other screens here because I've got this full screen on my screen right now. Because of these, after this, I can switch back because this is actually the last graphic that's like that. So logon failures. On the new systems, 2008 and 2012 servers, you got 4625, and they give you a code inside 4625 for each different kind of logon failures. On the older machines, 2003 and 2000 server, they gave you individual actual login codes, 529, 530, 531, 532, 533. Each one meant something different, like unknown username or password, account login time restriction, account currently disabled, user not allowed to log in at this computer. So it always gave you that information. But on the new systems, 4625, it's actually in the data, in the message, and it'll tell you what the failure is, and it's always the same logon failure message in that respect. So if you want, we can put the other screen back up, like the PowerPoint, because there's no more graphics after this where I am now. You want to leave it like it is, or you want to switch back to the other one? Sorry, guys. Sorry about the malfunctions. It's probably my system. Like I said, I've been having problems all day. So this here is a script, a log parser script, and I actually didn't put the script up here to show you a script yet. I actually put this up here to remind everybody about the different types of logons, and there's more than this in the gist, but this is, as you can see, interactive or network, batch, service, proxy unlock, network clear text, new credentials, remote interactive, as in terminal server, remote desktop. So you can extract that information when you want to look for certain types of information, for certain types of logons. So that's basically what I put this up here just to show you that, because we're not going to look at that script yet, or any scripts just yet. So, okay, so account activity. So one of the things that we always look for is when somebody's doing account activity. An account activity would be someone creating user accounts, changing password attempts, user account password reset, deleting users, anything like that. So it's important to know, the different event IDs. And by the way, in the script download, there's two different shortcuts to the event IDs that I use usually to look up different event IDs. They're both from Microsoft. I think one's MSDN and the other one's TechNet, if I remember correctly. But they have a pretty good library and pretty good explanations. and they have it broken down for 2003 server, 2008 server, 2012 server, so you can look at the different servers and the different IDs. What they don't have is that they don't tell you the matching between, like, if this is on 2003, it's the same as the ID this on 2008. There's a couple of places out there that you can get that. I believe one of them is Ultimate Security, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, okay, so we're going to talk about record numbers. Why? This is for another book, so anyone feel to speak up. Why are Microsoft Event Log record numbers important? There you go. Jason hit it right on the head. So make sure you take Jason's name down for me, Mike. That's right, time manipulation. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at, this is how, and we're going to run a query here. I'm going to open up a log parser window and show this to you. But if you wanted to find the record numbers and find time manipulation, just so you know, I set my clock back like around 6 o'clock this afternoon and did a bunch of stuff and then switched it back, so you're going to see the actual event logs where they go out of order. Here's what the query would look like. You would say, ask for the record numbers. That's actually what they're called, record numbers. And you can ask for other information like time generated, the event ID, the event type name, event category, the source name, strings. Strings are important, and we'll get to that a little later, but the strings tell you the different sections and what string number they are, and that's how, when you search for a query, you have to search for that string. So you have to identify what that string number is. We'll get into that here in a little while. But anyways, so let me actually pull up a window. Okay, so I created a couple of different log parser record events. I'm going to actually go up here and share that as well. So here's the record number event. I just want to show it to you. This is the actual one we're going to run. We're going to run this right now. Go back. I'm not so quick on this. Share. Switch back to the log parser. And I already typed this out earlier. Now, a lot of people know that on the older systems, XP in 2003, there's not security events, so the security event logging is not turned on. So because the security event logging is not turned on, you can do it to the system event or security event. We can run both of them. I'm going to run the system event one here first. And it should take it about a minute to run here. And then it's going to make a nice little CSV file for us. Yeah, it took about 15 seconds to go through 90,000 records to your desktop. That's what I'm going to do. It'll be easier. Okay. Okay, so this is items. I have it sorted, as you saw, that sorts the records by the record numbers. You'll see the record numbers go there in order. Now, I already know where the bad record numbers were from doing this earlier today, and why is this given a weird format? I don't know. But let me just scroll back a little bit. Right there, you can see where it all of a sudden jumps from 1540 to 1707 on the time. If we scroll back just a little farther, you'll see I did a bunch of stuff when I turned the time back. And then all of a sudden you'll see that it jumps back to 1700. So here you have the record numbers in order, and all of a sudden the time changes, and the time changes back. So just from being able to look at the record numbers, we can determine that someone changed the clock, even if this was an older system with no security event, and nothing comes up in the system event and change the time on the older systems. You could tell from this that the time had been manipulated, changed. what was done while what was going on while that happened, and be able to go from there. Okay, guys, am I back in? I truly apologize. Can you hear me? Okay, can everyone hear me? I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with my system. I don't know how far you guys got to see. Let me share my desktop again. Did you guys hear me talk about show the difference in the break here? So you guys did hear me when and did see the screen here where I showed where the event logs switched times and they went back and forth, or did I lose connectivity before that happened? Oh, okay, great, okay, great. I wasn't sure when I got disconnected, so. All right, so anyway, so that's what you see. So that's why the record numbers are so important. What I can do too is, let me show you something else. We can make a little variation. I have the desktop here so everyone can see this now. So now, if you knew or thought there was a time discrepancy that occurred on a certain date, someone changed the time maybe a couple hours back on a certain date, you could add this clause, where to date, and only grab something that occurred on the date that you specify by adding this where to underscore date time generated timestamp. So if we run that, if we run that event, now I didn't make any changes on that date, but it's just going to give us the record numbers. But you can see that you can specify, as you saw before at output, well, that was from the system, it's 90,000. But it's just going to, it found 91,000 records, but only 7,000 that matched that date. So the output is just those 7,000 records. Right here. And it opens. You'll see that they're just from the date, I guess, well, I picked Valentine's Day. How about that? Or 2/13, well, because of the UTC. Actually, it pulled more than that. Why did it do that? Well, I don't know what I did wrong there, but in general, that does normally work correctly. And a matter of fact, I just made that script the other night for someone, and it worked for them perfectly. At any rate, we won't stand on that. But that, anyway, that's the command to grab the timestamp of only that certain date range. So we'll go back to that. PowerPoint. So okay, so we did with the record numbers. So, you know, if you wanted to look for an excessive number of failed logins, the script you would use is this. And this is what I was talking about earlier about the strings. If you can see the strings are right there. You'll see the string 11, that's the source address, string 0, string 5, and how you can learn those strings, because each of the event IDs, they don't match. I'll show you in a second some variations. But is to go ahead and pull the strings and just, you know, count the separated, comma separated, to what number string it is that you're looking for. So if you're looking for the source address of the user or the workstation or the caller domain, or whatever information that you're looking for. I saw Mike's write-up about somebody doing some fancy output for logging visual effects. So I just wanted to show you one of the features that you can have in output from this is you can use what's called a TTL file to make HTML files and put all of your items together, all of your application logs, your system logs, etc. So you can actually have and let me show you the command. So if you wanted to create the last 5,000, let's say, event, or last 500, or last 100, whatever you want, and you could constantly have this running every hour, you can run it of the system log, 5,000, then run the application log, and then run the security log. And from that, you'll get a fancy little HTML file, which opens up, and it shows you, it gives you your various, information on the different security logs, and you can switch between them simply by clicking on security or system, and it'll take you from the different event logs. And you could use this as something to review every hour, twice a day, and you could have this run and create a nice HTML output for you, so you could just review the event logs, conglomerated together. You could have other ones as well if you had DNS or whatever else running. So that is just a little bit of an output, something that could be a blog post. That's kind of neat. Okay, so getting back to the PowerPoint here. So anyways, this is the select the top 100 rows. This is the actual command to do that. And that script is actually in the download that went to you all. Okay, so I'm guessing everyone's still hearing me and I'm still attached. I'm looking at my network connection. So altering items in the script, what we were just talking about a little bit before. You can do things like add certain event IDs, only specific identity. You can do between or not between certain IP addresses. So let's say you only wanted external IP addresses and your internal IP address ranges were 192.168.100 and 10.0.0.0 to 10.0.2. You could exclude those from a script by just simply adding this information into the script. So, and then altering the event IDs in the string. As we saw before in the other one, source address was 11, but in event ID 673, source address is string 6. Username string 0. The caller name is string 1. So that's why it's important to learn the different strings and what they stand for so that you can grab the information that you want and get that information out of there, or request information by certain things, by a certain source address, or by a certain username, by a certain caller. And then once again, so 672, the source address is string 9, username string 0, and the caller name string 1. So it's important to know the fields so you can do it. And the stack event all suit to SQL is the one that I did originally. That's the one where it just pulls all the information with the record numbers and the strings so that you can dissect and pick out what strings you want and create a script based off of those strings. So that's really the gist of what I wanted to talk about today. I was going to show you a couple other neat little things that log parser can do out of different types of log files as well. In here I've got a couple of log files from an IIS server, and you can use log parser. I'm going to cheat here so I don't have to type out this. And actually, oops. But you can pop out and check for status code count, looking for 404s, which everyone knows what 404 is, and see how many 404s have occurred as opposed to other 200s, 301s, 302s, and have it come out in a chart. You can make pie charts table charts, whatever kind of charts you want. You can use that. That's an output selection for that, the actual command, which is right here is that -O chart type, column 3D, legend on, categories on. So that's one neat that log parser can do, and then a neat output that it can give you. Also, one of my favorite things that log parser has, I definitely am not going to type because I'll never type this correctly in one shot, is you can grab the most recently used list from all the MRUs, the different paths. Now, of course, I know we have things like Red Ripper and that can do those things, but it's neat to have a tool where you can do that. And then take it a while to make that finish. Yeah, so it outputs that file. I'm not sure I want to show everyone what's in my MRUs. Hopefully I don't have any client names. But you can see that it gives you a CSV table of the different values, different items, all the different MRUs, etc. Basically. So I really think that was all I had this evening. I was going to make this last time I ran over and ran out of time, so I tried to make this one a little shorter. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this.